Hi everyone, today we decided to cook groundnut stew from Sierra Leone. This is their national dish using peanuts or groundnuts. It's originally called groundnut soup, and groundnut is the Creole word, which is the most spoken language in Sierra Leone word for groundnut or peanut. Most of the time, groundnut stew is eaten with rice. Sierra Leone has a few main ingredients that are incorporated into all of their dishes, well, most of all of their dishes, including peanuts, goat, chicken, beef, cassava, and rice. Groundnut stew is popular throughout Africa.
Hi Carbo community, my name is Trixie and today I am cooking on behalf of the Carbo Partners in Health Engaged team, and we are going to be making a Sierra Leone groundnut stew or groundnut stew. Okay, awesome, so let's get right into it. The beauty of this stew is that you can really use whatever ingredients you have around your house. We're making a traditional Sierra Leonean version, but it is just a general West African stew, which means that there are a lot of variations. So if you don't have the right color pepper or anything, doesn't matter, feel free to sub in whatever you need. Okay, so with that being said, we're gonna get into the ingredients that I'm using today. Instead of doing a meat, you can use a chicken or a beef, and I'll walk you through how to cook that. I'm gonna be using sweet potatoes, whoops. So these are about 2 medium sweet potatoes, and I just cut them into cubes. I also have 1 large onion and 1 green bell pepper, just chopped roughly in that container. Of course, you're gonna need about a 1/4 cup, mine's a little more than a 1/4 cup of peanut butter. Ideally creamy. I don't have creamy peanut butter in my house. We are a chunky only family. So I'm using chunky peanut butter, whatever your preference is. As for seasonings, I have a tablespoon of ginger, turmeric in this little bowl, and then about a teaspoon of chili powder, garlic powder, onion powder, cayenne pepper, and then some smoked paprika. And then you're gonna finish it off with either 2 large diced tomatoes, or if you're lazy, you can just get a can of diced tomatoes from the grocery store. Okay, so your first step is going to be prepare your meat however you need to prepare it. I'm using sweet potatoes, so they're going to be fully cooked by the end of the dish. If you're going to use chicken, make sure to prepare that, however, to your doneness beforehand, and then that's going to get shredded and then thrown in at the end of the dish. If you're using beef, you're going to want to add some oil to the pan, add your beef cubes and brown them on all sides. And then you're going to want to add in a little bit of water and simmer that for 5 minutes. But just keep in mind that your beef is going to simmer at the end for, again, 15 to 20 minutes. So if you just make sure that you don't overcook it at the beginning and be mindful that it's going to cook at the end. Okay, getting into the real first step. You're going to want to take a medium-sized saucepan and then add in about 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm just using vegetable oil, and then add in your onion and your green pepper mixture. So let's get right to it. Okay, so I have just thrown my onions and my pepper, it's just 1 bell pepper, you can use any color, into my pot with some oil, and then we're just gonna let that soften and get golden for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'll check back in with you.
Sierra Leone is a country on the western coast of Africa with a population of about 7.5 million people, and they were colonized by England during the 19th century. They finally gained their independence in 1961, and then from 1991 to 2002, they had a civil war, and they've also struggled with HIV and the Ebola epidemic in 20.
Okay, hopefully you can hear me over the veggies sizzling in the background. But I just wanted to reiterate that this is a West African stew, and even within Sierra Leone, there are quite a few variations. So the 2 recipes that I'm using today are coming from Yumna Yawad and from Kosa Weller. Okay, so those have been simmering for about 7 minutes. So the next steps are going to be add in your seasoning mix and then add in your tomatoes. Okay, so I just threw in the tomatoes and the seasoning, make sure it's mixed up and everything's well coated. And then the next step is you're gonna add in your sweet potatoes. And then after you add in your sweet potatoes, you're gonna add in 6 cups of either just straight water, or if you wanna be fancy, you can add in a seasoned vegetable broth or chicken broth, whatever floats your boat. So I had just added in my sweet potatoes and I added in my water. I was only able to get about 4 cups of water because I misjudged the size of my pan. But if you can get the full 6, that's great. If it's a little less, I'm sure that's also totally fine. You're gonna wanna add in your water and your sweet potatoes if you're using sweet potatoes. Then you're going to bring it to a boil and then lower it down to a simmer, and you're going to let it simmer for 20 minutes or however long it takes until your sweet potatoes cook. If you're using beef, then you will have already browned the outside, and you're going to throw that in and cook it again 15 to 20 minutes, however long it takes for the beef to cook through to your liking. Okay, and then if you're using chicken and sweet potatoes, then once your sweet potatoes are cooked at the end of 20 minutes, just shred your chicken and stir it in. If you are not using sweet potatoes, then you probably only want your dish to cook for about 12 to 15 minutes. And then at the end of it, add in your shredded chicken. Okay, y'all, we did it. The sweet potatoes are cooked. It took about 25 minutes. And now I'm going to add in my probably closer to a fourth, in between a quarter cup and a half a cup of peanut butter. Again, mine is chunky, use whatever your preference is. And then I'm gonna add in my 1 cup of spinach. Now would also be the time to add in your shredded chicken. So at the end of the 25 minutes and with the addition of the peanut butter and the spinach, this is what it looks like. I kind of want it to thicken up a little bit more though, so I'm just gonna let this all cook for probably another 3 minutes, just to boil off a little more of that water. As you can see, the spinach is starting to wilt up really nicely. But yeah, at this point you're done. You can take it off the heat. It's recommended that you serve it with white rice, or whatever else your preference is.
So Sierra Leone has right now a fairly abysmal healthcare system. During the 2014 Ebola outbreak, there were only 150 doctors for the entire population of Sierra Leone, which is 7.5 million people. Another shocking fact is that 1 in 17 mothers will die due to maternal causes prematurely. And that's why PIH is building the Maternal Center of Excellency. They aim to, by 2025, double the maternal and infant healthcare opportunities, including prenatal, postnatal. They'll also offer family planning to local communities, and they'll offer mental health counseling for parents. So PIH is doing a lot to build this new hospital that'll eventually become a staple for the Kono district in Sierra Leone. It'll be able to teach new doctors, and it'll eventually be run mostly by Sierra Leonean communities. So PIH needs a lot of money, and our goal for CIH's PIH Engage Club was to raise $5,000 for the Maternal Center of Excellency, and so far we've raised $6,000, but we're always looking for new donations. So you can follow us on Instagram at CIH Engage, and if you want to talk to anyone about this, you can email Catherine Biglaser, Trixie McNeil, Kai Nelson, Alec Anderson, or Fiona Henry. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I just want to say thank you all again for listening, and I hope that you really enjoy the dish if you have a chance to make it. I also just wanted to encourage you to learn more about Partners in Health as an organization if you want to. They work to ensure that health and healthcare are human rights. And then if you're at Carbro or part of the greater Carbro community and you want to learn more about the Carbro Partners in Health Engage team, we have an Instagram page, and then we do try to engage the community in ways like film screenings of a film that explains how Partners in Health came to be. So we're always looking for ways to get you involved. We are currently fundraising to build a maternal center of excellence in Sierra Leone. So if you're interested in donating to that, you can find that information on our Instagram, or send us an email and someone from the Carbro PIH Engage team will get back to you. So again, thank you so much. I hope you really enjoy your dish, and I hope that you have a great rest of your week. Thank you for being a part of the Carbro Connected Virtual Culture Fest.